The day-to-day hustle and bustle of a job site can make it easy to put workplace safety on the back burner. But the last thing you want is to have an accident to remind you of just how important safety is when you're on the job. So you need to stay ahead of the game by recognizing the hazards on your job site, as well as knowing how to avoid them and what to do if an accident does occur. One of the best ways to ensure that everyone is following this process is by conducting a safety audit. Although you might not be in charge of any audits, there are still ways you can help them go smoothly. In this program, we'll cover the various components of a safety audit, including how a workplace safety analysis works, the systems of controls you can find on your job site, how to prioritize personal safety, and what to do if an accident does occur. What exactly is a safety audit, and what is it for? A safety audit is a review that identifies hazards and risks on a job site. It can help to improve safety programs, protect workers, prevent accidents, and comply with OSHA regulations. Usually, your supervisor or manager will build an internal auditing team that will inspect your work area, interview you and your coworkers, and make sure your job site meets industry safety standards. But sometimes, safety audits are conducted by an external company. In this case, their investigators are in charge of the process. There are three major types of safety audits addressing hazard identification, compliance with regulatory standards, and the overall effectiveness of your job site's safety program. Some audits tackle all of these issues at once. You can't find solutions to problems that you don't know about, which is why the first step in any safety audit is a comprehensive search for potential hazards, called a workplace analysis. This typically begins with a physical inspection of your work environment. The audit team will look for general hazards on the job site, such as cluttered work areas, lack of adequate fall protection, moving machinery and equipment, exposed wiring, and any hazardous materials. They will also examine tools and equipment to make sure that they are right for the jobs they're being used for, and that they are in good condition. The analysis can even include an assessment of the factors that are associated with the organization of individual workstations and their ergonomic impact. In addition to a physical inspection, a workplace analysis should also examine your job site's policies and procedures and how they might affect on-the-job safety. Your knowledge and opinions are important to this process. While you may not be in charge of your job site's workplace analysis, you can still help to make sure that it goes smoothly. After all, no one knows your job better than you do. So you might be asked to inspect your own work area and equipment for damage or potential hazards. If you do find any problems during your inspection, it's important that you immediately report them to the audit team, as well as your supervisor or your job site's safety director. After you complete an evaluation of your work area, an auditor might also interview you. So think about how you do your job and be ready to make any recommendations you have about how it could be done more safely. One essential part of a safety audit is evaluating the systems of controls on your job site. These are physical or procedural controls that are used in your workplace to minimize the hazards that are associated with your job. They are called systems of controls for a reason. They work together to protect you, but that doesn't mean that they all function the same way. In fact, OSHA's hierarchy of controls identifies the various types of controls that can exist in a workplace and how effective each type is. At the top is the elimination of a potential hazard and guarantees that the hazard no longer exists. It can involve ending the use of a hazardous material or removing hazardous equipment from the job site. Next is substitution. If a hazard can't be completely eliminated, your job site can substitute something that poses less of a risk. For example, swapping out a highly hazardous chemical for one that is less hazardous. Following elimination and substitution in the hierarchy are engineering controls. These are physical control mechanisms on your job site or on your equipment that help protect you from hazards. For instance, if your job site is close to a highway or a busy road, protective barriers may be installed to separate you from them. A machine guard on a piece of equipment is another example of an engineering control. It's there to protect you from dangerous moving parts, such as gears or sharp blades. Administrative controls provide the next level of protection. These are the rules and procedures that are set up to make your job site as safe a place to work as possible. For example, putting a no smoking policy in place in an area that contains flammable materials to help prevent a fire or explosion from occurring. Minimizing exposures to hazardous materials by using shorter work shifts or rotating work schedules is another example of administrative controls. Personal protective equipment, PPE, is at the bottom of the hierarchy of controls, but that doesn't mean it isn't important. It's just the last line of defense against injury. It's used to protect you from problems that might occur even though administrative and engineering controls are in place, not instead of them. As part of a workplace analysis, your supervisor will want to make sure that you're using the correct PPE for the work that you do and using it properly. You should also examine your PPE yourself to verify that it's in good condition. Gloves that have worn thin or safety glasses that are cracked will not protect you. While you may not have had a part in setting up the controls on your job site, it's important to make sure that everyone uses them. So as part of an audit, you may be asked to monitor how the controls in your area are working. If you find any potential problems, you need to report them immediately. Jobs. When most people hear the words safety audit, they think about inspecting their workplace and equipment. But you can't forget about yourself. This self-assessment or personal audit is important too. To stay safe, you have to look at how aware you are of what's going on in your work area and how well you follow safety procedures and protocols yourself. Start by reviewing your job site's standard operating procedures, SOPs, to make sure you know them inside and out. SOPs help us do our jobs more efficiently by preventing misunderstandings and mistakes that can lead to accidents and injuries. So never ignore them because you think they aren't important. Following them is essential, and they apply to everyone. And never skip a procedure because you're in a hurry. Remember, safety is always the top priority. As you continue your personal audit, think about how well you know your job site. Are you able to locate all exits and fire escapes? Would you be able to find them in the dark if you had to? You need to know where safety showers and eye wash stations are located as well. You'll want to be able to find them in a hurry if you or a coworker are splashed with a hazardous chemical. You should also determine where the nearest first aid kit is located. If an emergency occurs, you won't want to waste time searching for it. And make sure you know where fire extinguishers are kept too, as well as what type should be used in various situations. Using the wrong one could actually spread a fire instead of putting it out. But don't worry, you don't have to figure all of this out on your own. Your job site safety training program will help to make you aware of potential hazards as well as how to prevent accidents. This could involve courses on general safety issues such as back safety, hearing conservation, and personal protective equipment, and regulations such as hazard communication and lockout, tagout, as well as issues that are more specific to your particular operations. It's important that you take these courses seriously so that you are prepared for any problems you may encounter. Sometimes, no matter how careful we are or what steps we take to protect ourselves, accidents still happen. So part of conducting a safety audit is making sure everyone on your job site knows what to do if an accident or another emergency occurs. Although this may not be your direct responsibility, there are things that you can do to help. First, check to see that emergency numbers are clearly posted and easily accessible. This includes EMT, fire, and police departments. In some places, you can reach these services by simply dialing 911. Any internal emergency number should also be posted, such as the safety department, security personnel, or your company's fire and rescue team. If an incident does occur, everyone on your job site should know the procedures to follow. You should start by helping anyone who has been injured get the medical assistance that they need. Then the details of the accident need to be documented in a report so that it can be thoroughly investigated. Investigators will speak to other coworkers who witnessed the event to get as complete a picture of what happened as possible. Always report any incidents that you witness on your job site. No injury or accident is too minor. They all need to be looked at to determine what caused them. You should report any near misses as well. A near miss is a narrowly avoided incident or accident. After all, your company can't fix a problem they don't know about. After you file a report, you should verify that an accident investigation has been started, so that everyone knows that the problem has been identified and action is being taken. As we've seen, a safety audit can help you avoid a lot of accidents and injuries. And it's important to know what this process involves so you can contribute to it. Let's review. A safety audit is a comprehensive review of a job site that identifies hazards and risks to the people who work there. An audit will start with a workplace analysis, inspecting a job site's physical environment for hazards, as well as reviewing its safety procedures and policies. You should be aware of the systems of controls that are used on your job site, including hazard elimination, substitution, engineering controls, administrative controls, and personal protective equipment. Conducting an inspection of your own work area is an important part of a safety audit. You know your job better than anyone, so you can offer important insight regarding any potential hazards that may exist there. Doing a personal safety audit can help you determine how well you know and follow safety policies and procedures yourself. You should always report any incident or near miss that you see occur, no matter how minor it may seem. Now that you know how you can play an active part in your job site's safety audits, you can help to make sure that your workplace is the safest it can be for both you and your coworkers.